Hey y'all. Hi honey, I'm home. So, I went to Tucson with fear and trepidation, and y'all went before me and prepared an easy path. I am overwhelmed, amazed, and grateful. Very grateful. So now I am officially an Arizonan or Arizonian, one or the other. Anyway, I have a driver's license. Well, I have it on paper. They'll send me the real thing in the mail. Um, what else? Oh, I have tags for my truck, which I didn't put on until I got here. I thought, well, if I leave Virginia on there, maybe they'll be kind to me as I try to exit the city. So, and not be so hard on me when I'm only doing 45 when they want me to do faster. So anyway, tags, titles on the truck and the tiny that it just went so smooth. Of course, I was a little odded out. It was so funny. I was so stressed about getting there, and I was like, need to get on the road, and everything kept, because, I have insurance, all the insurance, for a good price, and more than it was in Virginia, but I live on a more dangerous road than I did in Virginia. So, anyway, I'm really excited that it all went so smoothly. And the thing is, it was took so much time that morning to leave, and then we got there and they didn't open till 12 anyway. We got there and everybody was outside, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's hundreds of people, and I'm picturing, we're all sitting in chairs and we're waiting. Well, we did wait. But we didn't have chairs. It's like, I bet they took those chairs out because they get cooties on them. So everybody's standing. But whoa, buddy, fastest time I've ever spent in a what is that place called? DMV. Sorry, dust on my computer. I might cut that. So anyway, all of that went smoothly and wonderfully, and my truck had been taken over to the mechanic, and I was expecting an oil change and get new tires and get my front end aligned. And my friend took me out to lunch to celebrate after we had gotten my license, and that went so easily and cheaply. Whoa, buddy. It only cost me like this much. I still can't get over that. So anyway, it just all went really well. And I even passed the eye test. I was like, please don't ask me to close my left eye. I can't see out of my right eye. And they didn't. They let me use both eyes. And I didn't have to take the test. Yay! So anyway, I had studied for it. And I was like, oh, that's some odd questions. So I'm glad that I didn't have to give any answers. But as it turns out, I've been driving for a while, so I kind of know the rules of the road. Thank you. So anyway, so we're having this nice lunch, and we get the phone call. And I'm telling you all this because there was at first it was complete dismay. And confusion. And then probably 24 hours, I guess, of what does this mean? How can this be happening? I'm so confused. I don't understand. And let me tell you, here's what happened. The phone call. The last 2 repairs, I just realized I might not be talking loud enough. Let me get a little closer. The last 2 repairs I had on the truck. One was made in 2016, ball joints. Most of you won't know what that means. I wasn't real sure, had something to do with how the truck drives. And it's the front. And if they break when you're driving, not pretty. So I had them replaced, and then I drove to California. And then I drove home from California and ended in Virginia. And then I stayed there for a year, and I drove all the way back to Arizona. So, but before I headed out to Arizona, there was another problem. There was something, I kept saying my brakes, and when I told people it was like $500 to fix it, they were like, brakes don't cost that much. I'm like, wait, there's something else. Now I know. I can say it better. It was the rear seals. And when your rear seals leak, for those of you who don't know, like me, but I know now, well, actually I knew before I left Virginia, because when your rear seals leak, they leak on your brakes, and they get your brakes all mushy and slick, because they got pads in there. So what ends up happening, you don't have any brakes. So I left Virginia with the rear seals fixed and the brakes, I thought. And I drove to Arizona. And when they made the phone call, they could not align my front end because my ball joints and all those other things that are in there aren't good. The ball joints were new, and the idle arm, I don't know what it does exactly, but that was new too. I feel confident because the man who fixed that part of my truck was very concerned about my well-being. So I don't think he would have done something or not done something, because he was just real careful with me. Now the other thing with the brakes, he knew. But when I get to Arizona, I have no rear seals, which means I have no brakes, which means I drove across country towing a 5,000-pound tiny trailer with no brakes. Except, well, I did have some brakes, obviously, front brakes. But because I'm an old lady, and I drive like an old lady because it's an old truck, be careful. And I was always, well, y'all know that. Every morning I was about near tears because I had to get on the road again. And I was always, just very cautious and careful. And it was a matter of trusting Yahweh that I had done what I could do and that he would handle the rest. So after I got over the why am I coming around this path again, that's the same tree. I recognize that. That can't be. They wouldn't have sent me off down a mountain with 5,000 pounds behind me with no brakes. Really? So they did. But it's okay, because I'm here and I'm safe. And the end result was, I'm not going to get new tires yet because I can't do the front end. But I could get brakes. So I got the brakes fixed. And my friends helped me get the brakes fixed. Thank you. Thank you, my friends. So I said, I'll be back. I said, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drive home to Y with brakes and be very cautious and careful with my tires rotated because I'm not in control. Y'all was in control. And he brought me all the way over 2,000 miles over hill and dale and mountains. And with me thinking I had brakes when I didn't. So it took me a while to kind of gather my wits about me and go, what is this about? And this morning, after much prayer and solitude and a reading of the Word, a lot of reading of the Word, and it was in John, actually. I was reading John this morning, 13, 14, maybe even into 15. Yeshua. He loves us so much. He just does. So, so this was supposed to be introductory, and it kind of is, because I want to share with you the real lesson. Because I am home. You see, I'm at the tiny. I'm safe, I'm sound, and I will be here until Yahweh will provide for me. And my next trip in, it's going to be big. Oh, telephone. It might take me a while, so but I'm not fretting and worrying over it because I don't drive very much. You know that. I just go to Aho for food and supplies. I do that maybe twice a week, and it's only 10 miles and 10 miles back. So, and I'm a very cautious driver, and Yahweh knows that too. And it was mainly just to, what's funny is it wasn't really about safety. I wasn't scared of the truck. It was just, when you're old, you need tender loving care. And I understood that about my old truck when I bought it. It had over 200,000 miles. I'm like, I can relate. if I had an odometer, it'd have 200,000 miles on it too. So I'm going to share this with you. March 17th, which is today, the Sabbath day, 9:25 a.m. Why? Why would I come around this path again, past this exact tree, pay a cost, a monetary cost, and see the very circumstance that caused my excommunication from Virginia repeated? Because Yahweh, Abba Father, He wanted me here, exactly in and on this spot, at this time, and in this place. The men I trusted to have my back betrayed my trust. And Yeshua, He has shown me that as I drove over 2,000 miles through 10 states for days and weeks, He had me. His messengers, Malachim, kept my wheels on because they could have fell off. His Kodesh Malachim, bless their hearts, they stopped my quarter ton truck and the 5,000 pounds of tiny belongings I towed behind me every time. Hello, woodpecker. It was a Geder HaKodesh that surrounded me, a hedge of protection. And even as I appeared to be alone, I was never out of His vision. And I was never, even in the dark of night, along lonely highways. I was never alone. When the mechanic told me you have no brakes, and I was questioned about the struggle to stop, I had to tell them I truly never experienced that. And no, my steering never swerved or shook or bumped or caused question. But the last 2 repairs on my truck were either never done or were done poorly. Over 1,000 earthly dollars were spent. Dollars I struggled to earn or save are now, like all mammon, truly, like all mammon truly is in the end, dust. It's all dust. The riches I acquired instead are boundless. My Father, He's ever watching over me. No evil will befall me, as my trust is wholly in Him. As I left Virginia heading south, then west, I made the statement, it doesn't matter where I die. And in my heart, the full statement has bloomed. It doesn't matter, as long as Father is with me. As long as Yeshua has guided my steps, because more important than what state or country or town I live in is that He has gone before me. Abba has set the boundaries and the time, and the Ruach HaKodesh is in me to secure my time here. And Yeshua has secured my eternity today. Today I know that my Redeemer lives. I can trust Him because He alone is worthy of my trust. I can praise Him because this life I live is His to mold and make and be glorified in. And that alone is what matters. Praise Father. Oh, praise Yahweh. Yahweh, Elohim. Yahweh, hey God. I love y'all. Shabbat Shalom.